And we're coming to you live from the Built Ford Tough studio. Boomer Esiason, Greg Giannotti. It's Boomer and Gio on the Fan. I just totally forgot. I was going to say CBS Sports Radio. My brain just shut down. And I said, we're not on CBS Sports Radio. We're on CBS Sports Network. And then I couldn't think of the word network. That was one of the weirdest things that ever happened to me. But hopefully it's all up from here, Boomer. I'm staying up too late watching these games.
Do you want me to put the show open again?
No, it's okay. And we'll tell everybody that we're also on the free Odyssey app as well.
And the Built Ford Tough studio. Count it.
I did see that. I did say that, right? I think I did say that. Okay, good. And it is a feel-good Friday morning. Exactly what we wanted. And I went to the Great Portly Villager last night to watch the game. And Marlene, who was the owner of the place, did a great job raising money. After the Carolina Hurricanes tied the game in regulation, and you saw that the broken stick wasn't dropped, she comes up to me and says, Boomer's going to be pissed off tomorrow. And I said, no. I'm telling you right now, they're winning this game. They're still winning this game. So I had positive Ranger energy for you. I said, we got a feel-good Friday. I think we're getting baked goods today. This is going to be a good one. Congratulations on your 3-0 lead. I know it's not over, but you haven't lost a game in the postseason. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
I'm great. I mean, I can't be any better. I'm actually, I don't want to say I'm stunned, but I am pleasantly surprised. And one of the things that happened yesterday before the game was something that I had been advocating for since this series started. And that was the emergence of Filipino into the lineup. And not that I love Matt Rempe. We all, as Ranger fans, love Matt Rempe. But if he's going to be stapled to the bench for 5 minutes, he's going to get 5 minutes of ice time and then be stapled to the bench the rest of the game. If you can get Filipino back and put him into the lineup, now all of a sudden you have 4 lines that you can trust out there. And I think Peter Laviolette probably did this yesterday because, they were on the road. The home team has a second change. You probably didn't want to get certain guys stuck out there. And you also add a element of speed. And you could see it that, Filipino looked like he was shot out of a cannon last night. He was like he never missed a game. So the Rangers catch a huge break here now, getting him back off of LTIR during the playoffs and making this a whole team. And then I was thinking about it, okay, how would I, when I look at these games, how would I break down what I think are the most important aspects of the games? Because when you look at the statistics from this game, you would think that the Rangers, if you didn't know the score, probably got blown out.
Well, another one of these shots on goal disparities.
2-1, hits 2-1. Face-offs 2-1. I mean, it was crazy.
And no one scored on the power play too, which was.
And this is so I think about, okay, what am I witnessing? Who am I crediting? Well, first of all, I'm crediting the whole team. I'm going to give GM Chris Drury a ton of credit for doing what he did with the coach, understanding what he needed in terms of bringing in certain players, especially Alex Wenberg and Roslovic. They turned out to be pretty good players for us. He didn't go big game hunting, if you will. He stayed with his team. And then I think about Igor Shesterkin and how he's playing. This is Henrik. This is Mike Richter all over again. We as Ranger fans have been very, very lucky to have goalies like this over the course of my lifetime. I mean, and they are the ultimate backstop. And, he's stopped like 99 shots in the last 2 games, which is insane. But not all the shots are, high chance shots. I understand that. And he's working hard. And I think Steve Valiquette talked about it last night, that early on in the game when the Rangers were taking penalties, he was facing long shots from, not in front of him, but away from him. And it allowed him to get into the game. And Valiquette would know so much more than I would about a goalie's tendencies and things of that nature. So he explained that, I thought, really well. So number 1 is Igor.
Yeah.
Number 2 is basically the special teams, the power play and the penalty kill especially.
Shorthanded goal last night again.
I mean, not only are they not giving up goals, they're actually scoring goals shorthanded.
Incredible, yep.
Which is incredible. And then I can't say enough about Vinny Trocheck, Alexei Lafreniere, and Panarin and what they have done. And then, of course, Kreider and Mika Zibanejad seem to be tied together. They have this mental telepathy that is very hard to really create, and they have created it. I mean, there's so much to like about what is happening here and what we're seeing here and what we're witnessing. And the game-winning goal is just ridiculous. That is just stupid skill. It's a little puck luck and nice little bounce to Trocheck and a great pass to Panarin, who had an unbelievable deflection. But I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, besides myself, we're not used to this, and this is a good team they're playing. But the Rangers have got it all going in the right direction right now, and they have had it going in the right direction for about 3 months.
I'll give you another reason why it is different this year that I think you're going to agree with me on. So the Hurricanes make the switch to the rookie goalie. We find that out in the afternoon. So what is the thought process for hardcore Ranger fans when that happens? Some people think, oh, the Hurricanes are panicking. Others will say, oh, no.
Yeah.
Akira Schmid.
Yes.
Louis Domingue when he was on the Penguin. Here we go again, right?
Yeah,
with that situation. And the game started out that way. I mean, his Kochtikov or whatever it was, he's got the Japanese horse.
Yeah, okay.
But he was in the first period looked like he was going to be a difference maker, and it didn't work out that way. But that's why it's different. You didn't have the Akira Schmid weird goalie out of nowhere turning into Ken Dryden situation like you always talk about, and you were able to go up 3-0 and at this point, you know you're going to win the series. It's just going to be when.
Well, you just calm down with that.
Well, you know you're up 3-0. Enough.
Listen, I'm not
enough. You're up 3-0.
Right,
it's
exactly.
fine. I'm not saying winning a cup. You're winning this series.
But I will say, I've been this advocate for Filipino to be in the lineup, and I've wanted him out there. Now they put him at left wing last night. I think he's a better centerman, but they'll figure it all out. And just having him out there and him playing 12 minutes. And he's replaced the guy that only played 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So now, because they come off of a double overtime win in Game 2, everybody's exhausted. You got to get another guy out there that has skill, has speed, and has size, and that's exactly what Peter Laviolette did. So, I mean, the game, again, you feel like the Hurricanes, I don't know what they're doing, but they do get a lot of shots on net. They're hoping for deflections. They're hoping for rebounds, things of that nature. And fortunately, the Rangers, for the most part, have cleared out the front of the net, except, when they go 6-on-5. And if I'm Rod Brindamore, I'm wondering, should I start the game 6-on-5? Because they end up playing unbelievable 6-on-5. There's so much desperation, so much chaos, and that's their thing, create chaos and all this other crap. So the Rangers done a pretty good job of weathering the storm, and that's because the goalie has been out of his mind.
Yeah, so be honest. In this situation, at the end of the third period, they tie it up on 6-on-5, like you just mentioned. When you're going into overtime at that point, where is your confidence of it? So, because
my confidence is high, but my ass is on the end of the seat.
Well, yeah,
and I'm like every shot, every play, every broken play, every little thing that's happening.
Because for whatever reason, in watching that game, being surrounded by Ranger fans last night, and they were all disappointed. I mean, maybe it's because I didn't grow up a fan of the team that I had that feeling. I was just like, this team will find a way to win this game.
It's a different team, and they've come back.
I didn't think it was going to happen in a nanosecond in overtime, but I had a feeling it was going to happen. So
I would say anytime that the Trocheck line is out there or the Zibanejad line is out there, anything can happen in a moment's notice. I mean, it just absolutely happens, and these guys are all tied together, and the Lafreniere growth has just been great. Watching this kid since he was a first overall pick, and maybe not living up to it early on because he's a kid, and now really turning into a man in front of our eyes and scoring goals. That was an unbelievable pass by Trocheck. I wanted to say, I was going to put Trocheck as number 3 because I think he's got 7 assists, and of course he's got the game-winning goal in Game 2.
Yeah.
But that whole line has been amazing. I mean, they really have been, and then, of course, when they're out there on the penalty power play, they're amazing as well. They just are so tied in together. The team is so everybody's pulling in the right direction, I feel. And even though our friend Jacob Trouba got dropped to the third pair, as the captain, that's got to be like we were talking about a little bit. Demeaning. You haven't heard one complaint from him. And by the way, he had the most ice time last night of all the defensemen.
Yeah, and it was this to me was the most physical game out of the 3 so far. You saw a lot of scraps. You saw him getting involved as he normally does. So yeah, I mean he was out there more than anybody else, and he was a tone setter physically, like he needs to be and what he has been. Right,
and I know that there are times where he'll have a bad game. He'll make a pass that you just scratch your head and it ends up in the back of the net or something like that. But I thought yesterday he bounced back from a poor performance in Game 2, but the coach trusts him. And he's physical, and I want him out there. He's the captain. He's got to be out there. And, I know there are some Ranger fans like, we got to put Zach Jones out there. Zach Jones played his way onto this team next year. He'll be one of the starting defensemen next year, depending on what happens with contracts with Gustafson and things like that. But right now, he's your captain. He's going to be out there. He's physical. He's not going to take any crap from anybody. And you got to have a guy on the team that's going to be like that and is going to lead like that, and everybody else will follow. And, and quite frankly, we haven't gotten a lot from Capo Caco yet. They're getting close, but we haven't gotten a lot yet.
I mean, listen, don't get greedy here. Not everybody's going to be having an all-world postseason. The team is.
Yes, but I'm saying. But this is what I'm talking about, having 4 full lines. When you have 4 full lines and they're all legitimate NHL high-end hockey players and they all understand their role, now all of a sudden this is where, Kako should be out there with Hedl and with Wenberg, and they should be able to dominate who they're playing against. And no matter who they play against, whether it be the Hurricanes or the Bruins or the Panthers or anybody else, I mean, this is what you want. You want 4 full lines. They got it. They're healthy, and they're playing out of their minds.
So these are just facts that I am putting out there.
Put them out there.
There have been 12 teams that have started the postseason in the NHL with 7 straight victories.
And 94 Rangers were one of them.
94 Rangers were one of them.
Yep.
And there were, including the 94 Rangers, there were 7 teams that ended up winning the Cup after starting. 7 out of the 12. So better than 50%. So that's where they are right now. They're trending in that direction. They have been that good. And yes, the Capitals, we all know how bad they were. They probably shouldn't have even been in the postseason. What they're doing to the Carolina Hurricanes, and not like the Hurricanes aren't playing poorly. That's the other part of it.
I'm just saying, all the other statistics, other than how many times the puck has gotten behind the goalie, are all in favor of Carolina.
And, right, and the Rangers are still up 3-0. So
which is amazing.
Yeah, it really is. So this is why this is different. This is special. I know you don't want to get too ahead of yourself, but the fact of the matter is they have played 7 postseason games. They haven't lost one, and the team that was right on their ass that was favored to win this series is now down 0-3 to your hockey team. These are all facts.
Right, 104 shots on goal the last 2 games on Igor Shesterkin, 57 and 47. Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
And like I said, they're not all high danger chances, and sometimes those statistics can be misleading because some of the saves are relatively easy for the goalie, for them in particular, not for us, but for them, yes. But it's a little bit to me that's a little bit insane. But he seems to handle the heavier the workload, the better he is, and the more locked in he is, and that's great. It is really great. I mean, and when that goal was scored, he was right. There was a broken stick, and the guy didn't put it down.
Oh yeah, no, it was right away. It's not a reviewable call.
Of course, no, I don't know why.
It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I mean that it's something that didn't affect the play of like him not dropping the stick in that situation. But a rule is a rule. I don't know if the official saw it, the referee saw it and decided not to call it or just didn't see it. But that was, that's something that you could have this morning. You could have and did not.
I could have been.
You could have been bitching about it and screw the Ranger button in that situation. And I was really hoping also that wouldn't be the talk of this morning because that would have sucked. So
but it's great, man. It's a feel good Friday. It's raining outside. I don't really care.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Accident on the LIE took me like an hour and 35 minutes to get in here today when it normally takes me 58 minutes. But it doesn't matter. It's Feel Good Friday.
100%.
You're in a good mood.
Friday. Yes. And by the way, unfortunately, I think we all realize that Anunoby's not.
Well, yeah, I know,
tonight.
and we have plenty of time to get to all of that, and that is unfortunate, but we kind of knew that was going to happen.
I do appreciate you guys opening up with hockey, and I really appreciate that.
Well, why wouldn't we?
Well, I know because the way Al acts, nobody cares about hockey. Everybody. See, but now he's changed his tune, and that's what I love. That's how So I gave a speech yesterday. I was talking about adapting and how you guys have adapted, and you guys are like my NARPs, and I have to adapt to you guys, and then you guys have to adapt to me.
Okay.
And I think Al is in the midst of adapting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's
100%, right?
adapting so much that he said that Philip Scheidel was back
Yes.
last night for the Rangers.
But at least he's attempting. That's the thing. Like you can say whatever you want about Al, but he's attempting. He kind of knows what's going on a little bit.
Yeah.
I said Philip Cheadle.
Oh, sorry,
Cheadle.
Cheadle. He did. He at least got the pronunciation 75% right.
Yeah, adapting and just counting down the days 5 years from now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think is the last time that you watched a Ranger game when we were in your condo for kickoff to summer 2 years ago or last year. Was that the last time you actually saw?
Was that their last playoff run?
No, that was 2 years ago.
I've seen the last playoffs as well.
Okay, look at that. You're right. He is
Yeah, I
adapting.
told you, he likes it. He's a closet hockey fan.
He's
is what he
getting in.
is.
But this is like non-competitive right now. I need it to be.
Non-competitive. Have you watched these games?
No. The
Basically,
answer is
when it
no.
comes down to one goal.
I'll tell you, but it's
one
3-0.
more goal.
3-0.
I know that. I understand that. But it's a beautiful thing, man. It is a beautiful thing. And all my crazy Ranger fan friends texting me throughout the game. I mean, it's just. It's great to be a part of something so positive as somebody bitching about somebody turning the puck over or making a bad pass or a bad call. Everybody, except for, like, of course, last night when they score the goal to tie the game.
Yeah.
The phone is blowing up. Oh, my God, how do we have this? We got to go through this crap again. And I'm like, of course, everybody just calm down. We have one of the best, if not the best team in the league. And they're healthy, and they just got back one of their young studs. It doesn't get much better than that.
No, it does not. And it's Boomer and Gio on the Fan and CBS Sports Network on this feel-good Friday morning. An ill Jerry Recco will be joining us coming up next. He's all stuffed up. He's sick. It's just...
Did he get it from CeeLo the other day?
Probably. His CeeLo with his, I only have allergies. And CeeLo's sneezing in my face. He probably got Jerry as well. So he'll be joining us, but it's going to be a fun update